Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Duel to the Death, a Hong Kong action film from 1983. It is the directorial debut of Siu-tung Ching, who is most well known for the Chinese ghost story films as well as the Swordsman trilogy. In 16th century, during the Ming Dynasty era, every 10 years, the greatest swordsman from Japan faces the greatest swordsman from China in a duel to the death for their nation's honor. As the duel approaches, Chinese champion Ching Wan, played by Damian Lau, and Japanese champion Hashimoto, played by Norman Chu, are unaware of their leader's grander schemes, but they eventually uncover a plot to rig the fight. Now, one of the coolest things about Duel to the Death is that ninja make a number of fantastic appearances, exhibiting high intelligence and proficient fighting skills. This is one of the best portrayals of ninja in any movie I have ever seen. And within the opening 5 minutes, you know Duel to the Death is not messing around. We immediately see some ninja infiltrate a library and begin searching for some kind of important information. Well, the monks that reside in this place, in the area, are alerted, and we get a good fight that ends in a very entertaining and unexpected way, which I will not tell you how it ends. So throughout the film, we get multiple appearances and attacks by ninja, who break out some unorthodox tactics. Look out for the later scene involving a monk. And every time the ninjas show up, it's a cool scene, and they show up a lot. So that is a huge plus for this film. Action design is generally unrealistic. So, for example, wires are used in just ludicrous ways. It's like a wuxia film, basically. There are also a few vanishing abilities that are obviously impossible to do in real life. So, just understand that going into this. Some of the action design is grounded as well, with the fighting and stuff. But there's definitely some crazy stuff in this. The choreography is good, and the athleticism of the actors shines through. Some of the fights are maybe a bit on the short side in terms of length, but the action overall is still quite satisfying because there's a bunch of fights that are peppered into this film. The final half hour, in particular, is basically like fight scene after fight scene after fight scene after fight scene. So the final half hour provides a nice crescendo, and it's just like nonstop, just entertainment value. Some of the death scenes are pretty fantastic in this as well. Definitely some bloody violence here to enjoy. So yes, the action is good, but I would say that the storyline is a bit sharper than you might expect as well. Early on, it might require a little bit of thinking to try to piece together, who are these ninja working for? What are the character motivations? You're asking yourself, why are these guys getting attacked, and who's attacking them? And what's the point of sabotaging this duel? And it eventually comes together and explained. But early on, it makes your brain think a little bit, which is good. And the cool thing is that the bad guys are on both sides. You know what I'm saying? It's not a spoiler, but it's just, there's shady people on both sides. I'll put it that way. So it's not one of those Chinese propaganda films where, the Japanese people are all evil and all Chinese people are good. You don't get that here, which helps it be a more interesting story and conflict. And for the sake of convenience, they did use some Chinese actors to play the Japanese characters. If you look at the cast list, I don't think I saw one Japanese person in the whole cast list that I saw. But it would have been nice to get somebody like a Yasuaki Kurata in here or something like that. But I can understand the logical difficulties of getting, dozens of Japanese actors to come into Hong Kong to shoot a film. It's a little distracting if you recognize some of these actors and they're not Japanese, but not a huge deal, I don't think. I do strongly recommend Duel to the Death. It's currently available streaming on Amazon. That's the English language dub track. That version's good enough for a rental if you want to see you like the film. But if you do like the film and you want to add it to your collection, I recommend tracking down, one of the DVDs that includes the Cantonese audio. And I believe there are a few versions of DVDs out there that have the Cantonese audio with English subtitles. So, yes, check this one out. It's a good flick. It's a good actioner. And as always, we will see you next time.